Recently, the Kindlepreneur Dave Chesson shared how Amazon KDP updated their rules for keywords used in the back-end metadata. Can these changes put your KDP account in danger, and should you change your keywords immediately? Or should you just hold your breath and hope for the best? What are the keywords you can use, and which ones are flat out forbidden? Let's thoroughly explore the 7 back-end keyword slots and discuss the best approach to maximize discoverability leveraging this option. On the first step in the upload process on KDP, you'll find a keyword section with 7 blank spots. These boxes assist Amazon in properly organizing and sorting a product based on what customers want. By selecting the right keyword, in theory, your book should get served to a browsing customer when used in search. In fact, KDP makes it even easier when they say these keywords should highlight your book's unique traits. Each keyword slot can store up to 50 characters, including spaces. You can put in a single term keyword or keyword phrase, though the latter is the best option if you want to stand any chance of discoverability. Think about the customer experience when you're selecting your keyword. If a customer searches self-help, how likely do you think a new author's book will get served over the likes of Mark Manson, James Clear, or any other popular author in the niche? Amazon wants proven winners for search queries, so it's logical they'll serve the popular books for short keyword phrases. Selecting a longer keyword phrase helps drive down deeper into a niche and match up with a customer's specific needs. If you expand the keyword phrase self-help to self-help for men, or self-help for women, or self-help for teens, and more, you'll get more granular and reach an audience much easier than a broad keyword phrase. According to KDP, the best practices for using the keyword slots include a few items. First, they suggest combining keywords in the most logical order. For example, a customer might search for military science fiction, but probably not for fiction science military. This best practice doesn't seem to line up with something they say later, so I'll come back to that in a moment. Next, they say to use up all 7 keyword slots and use short phrases while being mindful of the 50 character limit. Also, you'll want to test out your chosen keyword to see if the products served in the search query match your book. They further add, think like a reader. Imagine how you would search if you were a customer. Choosing keywords for fiction and nonfiction books are completely different animals. For nonfiction, focus on reader-based problems and your solutions. If a customer wants to lose weight, they might look up how to lose weight without exercise or how to lose weight fast. The problem was they want to lose weight and don't feel like working out, or they want to lose the weight as quick as possible. Now, for fiction books, you want to focus more on setting, character types, character roles, plot themes, and story tone. This is going to require a keen eye for details in your story that most attract your ideal reader. But there's a catch. Amazon won't give you a free pass instantly for the keywords you select. In fact, they state in their updated article, along with factors like sales history and Amazon bestsellers rank, relevant keywords can boost your placement and search results on the Amazon store. They're telling you point blank, if you aren't making many sales, they won't serve your book to too many customers. It's not the keyword selection alone that determined your book's placement in search. The customers must be buying the book to drive more relevance on that book. The more sales you make, the more relevance you'll get. But relevance isn't something that's constant. Since Amazon has new products added at every moment of every day, customers are constantly buying products, of course. Relevance will fluctuate with every given product. The more consistent a product performs in sales, the more consistent the relevance remains. If you ever want to fall out of favor with the Amazon algorithms, stop selling any books. According to Dave Chesson, the updates on the KDP Keywords page include 1. Don't use brand names you don't own. 2. The HTML tags. And 3. Words already mentioned in your book's categories. Now, recently, Dave and the Kindlepreneur team changed their recommendations for keyword use in the 7 keyword slots. They suggested you fill 1 to 3 slots with exact keywords that describe your book, nothing else. These are typically keywords that are prime real estate for your book placement, so it's served to the right audience at the right time. Then, fill in 1 to 2 category-specific keywords. Now, on the surface, It seems to contradict Dave's advice, but if you dive deeper, you'll see that he's not recommending you use any keyword from the browse path for your category. He's specifically telling you to use Publisher Rocket to find the best keywords to secure your book's selection in a category. Now, these words are typically short phrases that'll signal Amazon that the categories you selected are no accident, and these keywords are proof. Now, I'm not one to discredit or argue with Dave Chesson over this item. Obviously, he has a massive team and tons of research put into this, but I've got to share my candid thoughts that contradict his advice. I've yet to be rejected from a selected category, nor do I know anyone who has been refused access to a category. In the event you find you need to use 1 to 2 slots to ensure placement in your selected category, then go for it. In the meantime, I typically fill those slots with other relevant keywords that have some of those category-specific keywords baked into them. Now, last, Kindlepreneur suggests you fill the remaining slots all the way up with relevant keyword phrases. This means you want to use up every last character in the remaining keyword slots. I aim to place keywords that have an overlap in specific terms or root keywords. As an example, if I had home workout and workouts for men over 55, then I'd fill the slot with home workouts for men over 55. The 7 keyword slots can be tricky and will often tie up a lot of authors. They're afraid their selection will either get them nowhere or get them in hot water. Well, don't sweat it, because I'm going to give you some pointers about what keywords to avoid and the keywords you should never touch under any circumstance. Let's take a look at them. Let's focus on the items that you have a little wiggle room with. Will KDP block your book or ban your account for using them? No, but they're making the suggestions because they want you to maximize those keyword slots the best you can. Avoid using any information already covered in your metadata, and this includes your title, subtitle, series name, and author name. In fact, redundant use of any keywords is a waste of invaluable keyword space. You'll want to cast a wide net, so get as many keywords into the separate slots that have a little overlap. Skip any subjective claims like the best book ever or great tips for weight loss. The next one KDP suggests you avoid is information common to most items in the category. I've never had an issue with using a product descriptor, but it makes sense that using a keyword like book might be redundant. For instance, instead of using romantasy books, you can use romantasy, then leave the rest of the keyword slot open to slip additional keyword terms relevant to romantasy and your book. Also, avoid spelling errors, so it's probably a good idea to spell check your keywords before slipping them into the slots. I could make the argument that selecting a misspelled keyword could get you in front of a unique audience, but based on their suggestion, it sounds like Amazon addresses misspelled search queries with an AI-driven system to deliver the best option for that customer. I've done countless searches online, whether on Amazon or Google, and I always get the best recommendations based on my typo-ridden search query. So skip misspelled words and always spell check them before hitting publish. You should also avoid any variants of spacing, punctuation, capitalization, and pluralization. So there's no difference between computer and computers, or 80 gigabytes and 80 space gigabytes. The exception is translated words like Mao Zedong or Mao Zedong and Hanukkah. You also want to avoid putting your keywords in quotes, since it's a search command for an exact match. If you use Werebear Shapeshifter Romance, the only time your book will come up is with that exact keyword. Whereas if you remove the quotes, it allows the search engine to parse what it needs based on the customer's search. This is where I said they contradict themselves a bit. Earlier, they said the order of the keyword terms mattered most, but now they specifically say, if you enter complex, suspenseful whodunit, customers can search for any of those keywords and find your book. But wait, you said earlier that order mattered, but now you're saying it doesn't matter because a customer can use any of those words to find your book. My advice, don't sweat order so much. Get any relevant keywords into one slot and Amazon will sort the rest. Just avoid using quotes. In fact, skip any punctuation. It's a waste. So what are the off-limit keywords that no one should use under any circumstance? To be clear, I don't know of any other author who got their account banned or book blocked from the keywords they choose, but if you choose these keywords, chances are likely you'll get a stern email demanding you correct the keyword choice. Usually they'll place your book in draft, then you can update your keywords and hit publish again. Do not play with any Amazon-owned names, and this includes Amazon, Kindle, KDP Select, or Kindle Unlimited. Even my books about publishing on Amazon don't use any of their trademarked names in the 7 keyword slots. Now, while we're talking about trademark names, the same applies to any trademark you do not own or have permission to use. Now, years ago, an old author friend published a book about a piece of workout equipment. Everything appeared above board, and I assumed he had permission from the company to use their name. He didn't. His book didn't last long before KDP blocked the book and requested proof of trademark ownership or permission. I believe they even suspended his account. That trademark term was in his title, and he'd even placed it in the 7 keyword slots. Now, if he didn't have it as a title, I'd imagine KDP wouldn't have frozen his account. Instead, they'd put the book to draft and ask him to fix it. Thankfully, he cleared things up, but the book remained blocked upon getting his account reinstated. Now, the other option you should avoid is using other authors' names. If they aren't contributors or part of the publication, don't mention them. Yes, there are rare exceptions to the rule, but most times KDP will want proof that using another author's name is justified. That's what leads me to the second most egregious mistake for keywords. They absolutely do not want you using keywords that mislead customers. If keywords don't suit the book, don't use them. That's simple. I would imagine if they caught an author misusing these keyword slots to abuse the system, KDP will shut down the account. Amazon doesn't play, folks. You're sometimes one popcorn fart away from an account termination, so don't use keywords that don't accurately represent your publication. And the last word that you absolutely should never use is a 4-letter word that begins with an F. Free. Even if you've published a permanently free ebook or running a free promotion, they don't want you using free within a keyword phrase. There are exceptions to the rule, though. Quite a few years ago, my buddy Scott published a book about gluten-free lifestyle, and when he used gluten-free in his keyword slots, KDP contacted him immediately and requested he change it. Most likely, an automated system nabbed his book, so when he contacted support, they processed his request, and free was okay for him to use. Moral of the story, unless free is actually part of your book and not just a pricing strategy, don't use it. With all the headache and hassle of choosing the right keywords, you have to ask yourself if it's worth it. Let's explore if Amazon KDP is still profitable in 2024, or if you want to get more details about my preferred keyword research tool, Publisher Rocket, check out this video. I'll see you in either one.